fucking way. This machine just dealt me 3 royal flushes.
Are we on the air?
All right, guys, back over at the shop again today on my car and wiring that one over there. For the life of me, I could not find my floor pans. I don't know what happened to these two. Sometimes it happens, they're lost. So I had to make new ones. And I don't like coming over here and using all Joe's fresh new material, so I found a couple pieces. Actually, it was my old roof. So I went ahead and stuck these in the shear, cut them up to size. We're gonna get them fitted into the car and then off to coating. All right, guys, we got the hood cut in, the dash cut in. Everything's ready to go. Got it all bolted down. I'm gonna use some nice finish bolts on here. These were just on here to hold it down. But hood is on, dash is in, console's in. So I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting in my Holly dash, my radio, intercom, my steering shaft, and I'm just waiting on a bezel to come in for my GPS. Hopefully it'll fit in there. If not, I'll just leave that area blank. Not sure on that yet, but once all this stuff is cut in, I can take this stuff off to paint today. All right, I'm covered in fiberglass, but got the Holly screen in the dash, got my switch pros. My steering shaft's gonna come out here. So I got right to the edge of the bar, far over as I could. So huge shout out to our buddy Dan who made these bezels for us, just knocked it out of the park for Holly and Switch Pros. Now we've got our own. I've got a couple holes drilled here where the dash is gonna bolt down, and my radio and intercom go in there. This stuff I can cut outside because this is awfully thick. And then I've got to put 2 switches in right down here for my heated seats in the front, and then my intercom stuff goes there. So moving right along, guys. Looks like my car or my stuff will be ready to go off to paint today. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is just get this all disassembled, take the hood back off, sit it off to the side, pull the dash out, pull the console back out, and then get that stuff cut in. And then we're off to paint, guys. Whew. All right, I got the radio cut in, got my bezel all trimmed out, and Joe hooked me up with this killer tool for cutting through this big fiberglass. So it's awfully thick up here because we moved the console and twisted it towards the driver, but I'm stoked. One more thing to cut, and then this is off to paint. All right, guys, well, Wedo helped me get my new floor pans in. So we got those finished up. The coder brought them over to me today, and now everything's gonna go off to paint, and we are gonna be ready to hit the dunes with this thing, guys. My car is done. I am so stoked. As soon as that stuff comes back from paint, I got a couple little more things to wire. Take me about an hour or two, excuse me, and I'll be all finished up and ready to go. So that's it for my car for now. Tomorrow we're on to Costin's car to get it wired up. All right, guys, we're back over in the big shop at San Limo today on this gloomy Saturday. Nice and rainy, nice and cool out finally. We got most of everything done on my car. This is not my hood. This is Costin's hood. It doesn't fit my car right, but it is definitely pretty much the same color. So mine's off at paint. I got that all dropped off yesterday. Console and all that's done. All my wiring's done. I'm just waiting to push all that up through the console when it gets back from paint. I've got most of my seats in, and now we are working on Costin's car. So that's this car over here. It's here for full wiring. So I've got the Holly dash set up, got the Switch Pros cord set up, everything kind of tie wrapped in and going down towards the back of the car. And we came upon this. That's our CAN bus cable for the Holly screen. Unfortunately, since I'm running it this way, it's not gonna make it to the harness way over there. So I'm making a CAN bus extension for that right now. I'm gonna run the rest of this back and start getting the Switch Pros and the Holly fired up. I should be able to get this car about 90% complete today. It doesn't have a whole bunch of accessories. Just got a dome light and a whip, and some front lights and a little light bar. So not a bunch of underglows or anything like that. So this thing should go pretty quickly. I should be able to wrap most of it up today. So I'll bring you guys along with me and kind of show you the process a little bit. Because his dash is off at paint, I don't know if I showed you guys, but when I started cutting everything in, when I pulled the masking tape, the clear coat popped. So it went back to paint. I went ahead and cut everything in, and then send it back over to paint, which is why I cut everything in on my car ahead of time. That way, once it's painted, I don't have to worry about putting tape on it or anything. So how I kind of start this process is I go over here to the furthest accessory. So on this side of the car is the furthest accessory. Is going to be his radio and his intercom. But Scotch locks. I'm going to cut those and solder them. That's how it was when the harnesses came to me, because this stuff's not new. It was already in the car. So his radio and intercom go right here in the dash. So that stuff is here. His antenna cable also right here. I cover everything in Tech Flex and heat shrink it like that. And then I start running things back. And then I needed to add the Holly dash, so I got it in right there. Then I made a main harness. Well, what I call a main harness. This car's not going to need much of a main harness. Just a ground, an ignition power, and a couple other things. In case he wants to add some accessories up here in the future off the Switch Pros, this harness will already be here, so he won't have to run any wire. It's already there. We're only going to use probably 1 or 2 wires out of here for his cell phone charger, and that's it. So there's a couple spares in there for him. So we added that in, and we just start tie wrapping everything back. Here's our Holly dash with our CAN bus, and then I added in my Switch Pros control cable. And then we just start working it all the way back, and I start working from the furthest accessory all the way to the Switch Pros. So I'll show you guys, and I'm trying to move my phone a little slower for you guys. The way I did it in my car is, since my Switch Pros controller is under the dash, I started in the back and I pushed everything forward. So as you can see, let me move these radio cables, seat heater controllers, but everything is pushed up towards the front. Like I said before, I'm lucky because I have a center console, so all of my wirings ran through the center console, nothing down the tubes. Oh, and my floors, got my floor pans, and they're in. So this thing's pretty wrapped up. I'm really, really stoked on how she came out. So that's kind of how I do it. I work the furthest accessory, and then I start grabbing everything else and working it back towards the Switch Pros. So when you're wiring these, you may get started and you may start tie wrapping things, and you may get like all the way to here, like I did, and then forget this. So I got to come in and add this in and cut. As you can see, there's a bunch of cut tie wraps on the floor. So you're going to go through a bunch of tie wraps when you're doing it, but you know, they're cheap. It is what it is. I really wish I could run all this stuff through the tubes. It's just way too much stuff to get through these little tubes. So anyways, guys, that's where we're at. I already pulled some stuff for his light bar and accessory lights up here through the tube. So that's done. His taillight wiring's done back there. So once I get this pulled to here, we're just going to literally be concentrating right in this area, cleaning all this up, getting the Holly in, and finishing this car up today. So like I was saying, sometimes you forget things. I just looked down and I noticed that his brake light switch is right here. So I'm going to have to make a harness for that. I'll run it this way, and then it'll jump in right here. I'll have to cut these 2 tie wraps, but I'll get some Tech Flex and make a little harness with 2 wires in it to run back for his brake lights. You guys can see here, I've got my CAN bus extension made, and it's gonna go all the way over to the ECU. Covered it in some Tech Flex, and we're gonna finish tie wrapping the harness down the side of the car, and we can work right in this area, get all this stuff done. Well, as you can see, I got everything worked back to the Switch Pros, everything hooked up, everything's working. I need to put my CAN bus connector on there and hook up the 2 fans, and this car is done. I wired a whole sand car in like a day and a half. Everything works. So, good to go. Gotta love it. All done. All right, guys, so as you can see, we got the trunk wing back, the dash is back, and dude, it came out killer. A little white here from me drilling the holes for the bolts, but we fire this thing on. I'm stoked. It came out so good. This thing is just about wrapped up, and then I think we're waiting on, they're going to put the seats in it, and then I'm waiting on some adapters for the fuel injectors. I got to wire in the dome light, and I think that's it for this car. Like I showed you guys, I got it all wired up and finished. And then back over to my car. I'm just about done with my car as well. I have to wire in my electric power steering still, and then put my dome light up there and put my other dome light right here. I've got the wires right here for it. That one's already wired, and waiting on my paint to come back. Console, dash, and hood are getting painted as we speak, and then that's gonna go in. Passenger seat goes in, calipers on, bleed the brakes in the clutch, and my car is done, boys. So I will definitely be out in Glamis with my car for the annual Cletus McFarland boys trip, man. So we will definitely be out there ripping. Cannot wait. I'm so fired up about my car. Quick little update on Joe's truck. We kind of put it on the back burner since we got really busy right before the season started. But we're at the point where if we dump fuel in the carburetor, it fires up. So I need to wire the fuel pump and a few more things on this. But we're just kind of putting this off to the side until the season gets rolling and we pump some of these cars out. The red car, the hubs and everything came finally from Gear One. Wedo got it all put together, him and Joe did today. So they'll do the brake lines, get the brakes bled, and then this thing will be ready to go too. This car will also be out there next weekend. So if you guys are out in Glamis, keep your eyes out for this bad mamma jamma right here. And it's a hard balance because I'm working my regular job in the morning into the afternoon. And then when I get done with that, I'm over here, but I'm still working remotely at work. So it's a rough balance, but you know what, I didn't show you the ground back up. Oh, there's my light bar. Whips. I think I have them set to purple right now. Oh, they automatically went back to white. Oh, there they go, purple. So these will also come on as a brake light. So when I step on the brakes, once they're bled, they'll turn to red. So I thought that was pretty cool. Tail lights and everything are all done. Let me flip those on, show you guys that. That's gonna be under headlights. Those will be my front lights. I just need to ground them. And my tail lights are lit up. Right there in the tubes. So I need to grab a couple hose clamps for my coolant lines, dash 16AN. And I love that we set the radiator down lower. Look at that, full vision out of the car, which is what I really don't like about a lot of big sedan cars. Just check that out, looking from the back. You can fully see out the back of my car, which is friggin' awesome, which means my new rear view mirror will work very, very well. A lot of guys run their radiators up really high and then you can't see out of the car. So guys, I know this was kind of a short one, but I just wanted to give you guys some more updates on what's going on with my car and the rest of the projects in the shop. I will do an unveiling of this car once it's finished. We're gonna be thrashing the rest of this week and all weekend to get this thing done, ready for the boys trip. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe. We're really, really trying to get to 100,000 subscribers this season, and you guys know what's gonna happen. 100,000 subscribers, we're gonna build the Outlaw Baja and give it away to one of you guys. So make sure you click that subscribe button, tell your friends. As always, thank you so much for watching. We will see you guys out at Glamis Fab.